Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. Real quick before we jump in, I've been throwing in reminders lately because it's a big support to us. If you like any of our merch, head over to atlamerch.com. We got some pretty cool stuff, man. Shirts, hats, a bunch of cool little things there. So with that, we're shooting a really unique one for us today. And you guys know us, we're primarily, big power V8 muscle cars, but we love shooting custom cars, and cool is cool, and I don't care what it is. It's as simple as that. So we're gonna bring in Brett, and we're gonna talk about Brett's Mazda. Come on in, dude. Dude, thanks for coming up. I know you, obviously off camera, you were mentioning coming in from
Cerritos.
Towards OC, Cerritos.
Yeah.
So thanks, I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Very different for us. And you said you've seen our channel. You're also, you have a Cobra, you have a Daytona, you like V8s, you like American stuff.
Yeah.
So you said 74?
74.
Mazda RX-3.
Yes. I've had it for 12 years. 10 years with the current setup with that engine in there, and then 6 months with the turbo on it.
Now, when you first got it, did it look like this, or was it a stock RX-3?
It has stock interior, primered body, ignition was on the floor. You pick it up, use a screwdriver, start the car.
Okay.
It had a stock 12A engine, carbureted.
A stock what?
12A, the earlier motor.
Okay.
1.2 liter. So.
Well, let's pop the hood, because I know, obviously, as you pulled up, far from stock. I mean, this car makes a great sound, I think.
I tell people the windshield is stock, and that's about it.
So. God, dude, it's so, I know I said it before we started, but it's so tiny. What'd you say? It's a
1.968 liter.
Is that the actual, what it's, or do you start with the 1.2 or 3 and build it?
No, this is a factory. It was built only in Japan, and it was a company called Unos, which was Mazda's high-end brand.
Okay.
So how we have like Toyota and Lexus, or Nissan and Infiniti, well, over here Mazda is only Mazda.
Right.
But in Japan they have Unos. They built the car called the Cosmo to compete with the BMW 7 and 8 series. That was 3-rotor, twin-turbo, 4-speed automatic. They made about 8,000 of them. 4,000 were 3-rotor and 4,000 were the 2-rotor.
So this engine came from that car?
From that car, yeah.
Gotcha, okay. So along with the pretty massive turbo on here, I'm assuming, is this a stock engine or is it a built engine from the Cosmo?
It's a built engine. It has a street port and a semi-peripheral port. There's no pistons, there's no cam, there's no valves, there's no rods. So is your intake and your exhaust, and basically they port them bigger to get more airflow in, more airflow out. And in a semi-peripheral port, you're actually putting separate intakes right into the side of the rotor housing where the rotor spins. That just gives more air.
More air.
More air in, more air out.
Power. Yeah, I get it. And then what size is this turbo you added to?
90 to 80 something.
That's a big ass turbo, man.
Yeah.
What does this combo make power-wise?
It's just under 600 to the wheels.
Come on.
8,200 RPM. We turned the rev limiter down because of the turbo.
600 to the wheels though. And how much, is this car still weigh 2,000 pounds?
It's got a cage. It's a heavier engine. It's got a 40.8 rear end.
Okay, so you're under 2,500 though.
Yeah.
That's this car's got to be vicious.
Yeah.
Well, not vicious, Chris.
Yeah.
And then I got to assume suspension and everything's been dealt with to deal with this.
It's hard because the car is 50 years old. There's not a lot of modern stuff that you can do. There's a couple companies that make a few parts. It's got coilovers on it. I made a custom 3-link for the rear, Eaton 2-track diff, so it goes straight.
Good to know, especially with 600 at the tire and a 2,500.
You're limited on, I'm on 15-inch wheels. These are 15 by 9s.
Is it a square? No, but you look like you have a staggered tire.
It's the 48.8 rear end from an Explorer, so it's a little bit wider. So it does stick the back out a little bit more.
So what's your tire on here then, size?
245.
245?
Yeah.
On a what, 40 profile or something?
I think so.
So that makes it a little difficult then for brakes, yeah?
Yeah. Second generation Turbo 2 brakes in the front, and first generation RX-7 GSL SE brakes in the rear.
So you've really kept the whole car Mazda for the most part.
Yeah. Except for the rear end, everything else is Mazda.
Sure. Do you do a lot of the work yourself, or
no? I put gas, and that's all I do.
But you understand, you're like me then, you understand it all, but you're not getting greasy and turning wrenches.
Yeah,
I hear you,
I can do something that's gonna take me all day where my mechanic can do it in 20 minutes.
And probably do it a lot better. So what else? Obviously like radiator, intercooler.
This is intercooler's on the bottom. This is the oil cooler.
Okay.
They're ducted through the front. Intake is on this one.
Yeah.
Oil cooler on this one. It's boxed in, so it goes through here and then out the vent.
Yeah, your hood's really well vented, obviously. I mean, that's, we'd all know how much turbos generate like crazy.
This makes an immense amount of heat. It's got a electric water pump, CNR radiator, the Spall brushless fan. It is dry sumped because when we first put the motor in, and the hood wouldn't close because it was sitting too high.
Because of the oil pan on it.
So got a dry sump kit, Mazda factory raised dry sump. So that lowered it down. This holds 15 quarts of oil, 20-gallon fuel cell.
Dude,
yeah.
I dig your car, man. It's so unique. Obviously, you did the flares on it.
The trunk is fiberglass, the front spoiler and the rear are fiberglass from Japan. These are actually first gen RX-7 Group C racing flares that have been fitted to this. I've tracked the car several times at Fontana. Got 145 out of the car. It's a giant brick. Going around the banking though, your car compresses.
Yeah.
And all the fenders and the tires would just shaved it up. So we had reshaved them a bit more. That's not a perfect thing, but it's
part of what I really like about your car though, dude, is I like that it looks great, don't get me wrong, but it's not show car, fit and finish, everything perfect where you're deathly afraid. If it was, you wouldn't be out tracking it more than likely, What'd you say the rear end's from?
Ford Explorer, 8.8 rear.
And what are you geared at back?
I'm at 373 right now.
Okay.
First built the car, I was on 13-inch wheels. Stock, the car came with 13x5. So I had 13x8s that I had on the car and tracked it and ended up boiling the brakes because the front disc was only 8-inch.
So what do you have with the 15?
It's a 12.5
nice.
in the front.
You got a good size rotor up there.
Yeah, it stops pretty good.
What's the transmission on this car?
That I just added, it's a Samsonis 6-speed dog box. Straight cut gears.
So it's still H pattern, yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
And the throw is like,
is it super short and notchy?
Yeah, at first you're like, I'm not in gear. And then you're like, I'm in gear. It takes some getting used to.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll bet you get a whine like crazy from the straight cut.
It's loud. It's loud.
And fully caged, huh?
Fully caged. It's all scratched up from throwing the belts out.
Oh, dude, I love it. I'm telling you, when I see cars like this, I know this is a car that gets, like, you drive the piss out of it.
Yeah.
Why else do you build something that's this stupid if it's not to drive the hell out of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the point?
There's people that, I go to a lot of shows and you see the full-on show cars and they say, I'm a daily driver, and you look at it and you're like, no.
Yeah, you drive it out of your driveway onto
you go
a
on
trailer.
the show
That's how
and
daily
then back,
you are. Wow, you went just all business in here, obviously.
Yeah. We got a swamp cooler and the lines go all the way up to your head so you can.
Nice, so you can actually get cool air coming into the cabin.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so race car, man. What are the seats?
They're NRG Prisma.
Okay.
There's very few seats that fit this car because they're narrow.
And I like how I called it an old man bar, but like you already got a pretty compact space here to have to get into. And then what's your switch panel here?
It's just a generic switch panel. It has a Haltech Elite 2500 computer that runs everything. We decided to rewire the whole car. At the time, it was over 40 years old. The wires were basically, they wouldn't move anymore, like a coat hanger. They were just so old and stiff and brittle. So the whole car was rewired with just a painless kit. But then the whole engine was wired with a Haltech Elite 2500.
And then so does that control just every function you need in the car, like
now.
Fuel,
it's gonna
ignition?
Ignition, fuel, turn signals, lights, fan, water pump. It's getting a PDM, just waiting for my mechanic to have time to install that one, which will make it a lot cleaner.
What dash
the new Haltech IC7 race pack dash.
Got it, okay, cool. I wanna sit in here, dude, I'm curious. You mind?
Yeah, go ahead.
What'd you say?
I said, just like the car, Sean is also old instead.
Have I fired you yet today? Wow, what a cool fucking driving position.
Still has the Pitman arm. There's no power steering. There's no power brakes.
Yeah. I'm curious to feel the notchy of the ship.
Yeah. Pull straight back.
Oh God, you're not kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Boy, you got to really know how to drive this car. You got to be used to this. That's brutal notch.
Well, now I go with the no clutch shifting, going down the freeway and stuff, and it's like, this is so nice. You put your left foot back and you just, if you notice on the passenger side, the floorboard is raised because the exhaust is right below it. We first built the car, the floor was over 220 degrees.
Brutal.
Shoes were getting sticky.
God, yeah.
So we had to build a raised floor to keep the heat down.
Yeah. It's actually kind of sitting here, I mean, at least by myself, it's definitely, it's a small space. It's a narrow seat, but at the same time, I'm totally comfortable. I can see how you can drive and enjoy your car, you know?
Yeah.
Really. Yeah, dude, let's we get some cameras in here and we'll saddle up and go for a ride. Hey guys, gonna interrupt the video real quick because most of you don't know, but I was a working musician most of my life. My old band and I, Stonehoney, are getting back together coming up October 12th and 13th in Austin, Texas. We're gonna do a couple of gigs. It's gonna be a blast. Looking forward to it. Saturday night, October 12th, we're playing at a place called the Saxon Pub. Down in the description of this video, I'll make sure to put a link for tickets. If you wanna come out, it'd be great to see you. So now, let's jump back into the video. I can't even imagine. You were 5 what? 5'13". God dang, dude. Car drives great. I love how raw it is. I mean, it is raw. I'm not even getting into boost and you can feel it ready, just ready to go. Man. Total smile machine. So where does boost come on?
Anywhere.
Anywhere, huh? Wow.
There's so much exhaust coming out the
So
back.
you just put your foot in it right now and you're gone. Yeah. Which you'll do that later. I'm at 5,000 RPM, you're set at 8,200, and you said you could easily go over 9K if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Wow, jeez. Boy, you must embarrass a lot of people with this little car. Like if somebody wants to, a modern M4 pulls up, you'll annihilate them. I mean, like I gotta imagine if you're at a roll at this kind of speed, and you just start nailing it, you're gonna just walk away from a lot of cars. It's interesting, as stiff as your car is, it's not uncomfortable, you know, it's not, I'm surprised. The most uncomfortable thing in here is it's loud as all hell, and it's hot, you know? This is so fun, kind of fairly go-kart-ish, huh?
Yeah.
With a lot of power. Wow, I know I've said it a few times, but really, really super neat little car you got, man.
It's loud.
It is loud. You know, a lot of times these rotaries seem to have more of a high pitch, you know, like you said, the brap kind of. This thing's a super deep tone, like really good sounding car. Son of a bitch, that thing comes on. Great car. enjoyed that shoot today, man. I mean, it's hot as hell in that thing. It's rough, it's rowdy, and it's a super bitchin', very unique, totally different car for the channel. Bottom line, full custom. And the simple for us is, if it's cool, period. As easy as that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. As always, I say thanks for hanging and watching, because I really mean that. And I'll see you in the next episode. All right, man, later.